It's that time. It's that time once again. We have a new Assassin's Creed. It's been in the works. We heard about it. It was teased, and now Assassin's Creed Red, I think it was called, if I'm not mistaken. It's been like a year or so since we heard about like the new Assassin's Creed. It was like Assassin's Creed Japan, and it was the red background with the samurai, pulled up there. So Assassin's Creed Shadow dropped today. This is the world premiere. World premiere. World premiere. Yeah, so it's a world premiere, official premiere trailer. So, Ubisoft Forward is next month, so we'll probably end up seeing gameplay trailer. I'm pretty sure this is just a CGI trailer for right now. We'll probably have to wait until then to see like a gameplay trailer of it of some kind. I was just seeing something about Ubisoft Plus to play 3 days early or something. Of course, Ubisoft has done that with most everything that they have. You can play 3 days early. Assassin's Creed is going to be no exception on that rule. I think it's super cool what they're doing here, and yeah, I can't wait to see what's going on with this. I think there is two protagonists, so we're going to watch this trailer plus another trailer, and then I'm going to see if there's any behind the scenes information. Anyways, let's jump into this. Let's check it out. I got to go over to this screen here. Let's talk, let's react, let's do the thing. All right, let's go. Ranks of the trees. Oh, interesting.
Who are you? Who do you serve?
The Brotherhood, I hope.
All I have ever known in my life, our land, our customs,
Ubisoft original.
my family, burns in the name of unification.
Yeah, okay. Ooh, yeah. Very Assassin's Creed. Man. It's
You are still a frog in a well who knows nothing of the sea. The ocean's filled with new ships.
okay. We're just really quickly. This game is going to look really good because the Ubisoft engine has like some pretty solid graphical fidelity to it. If you remember, like Valhalla looked really spot on with high fidelity, high detailed graphics. The latest Assassin's Creed. Well, I can't even think what the hell the latest one was called, but yeah, just like this engine just keeps getting better and better. So I can just imagine. I don't know. So when it comes to Japan, I don't know if we're going to be actually jumping on ships and doing all that stuff, or if it's going to be a little more through the forest. Anyways, let's keep going. Keep going.
But they all come from the same river. Greed.
Huh.
Power. Vengeance.
Okay.
And will you continue down that river? Or choose another path beyond what we see?
And we must look for it. Together. We must learn to trust. Rebuild.
And follow the blade.
I'm getting a little bit weary here because I have not followed the blade. Is this going to be another not Assassin's Creed game? We just got ourselves back into the Creed, and now we're going to have another mainline Assassin's Creed that has nothing to do with the Brotherhood or the Creed or like ain't. Man, come on. I'm really hoping that we don't go that route with this. Kind of a weird soundtrack. I will say, for somebody who makes launch night videos, it's kind of a weird song to pick for this when it's such a serious tone and all of a sudden it's like... I don't know. It doesn't really fit. Tank character. I'm big into tank characters.
Who do you serve? We are the shadows.
Oh, there's a theme song kicking in.
That served the light.
There we go. Ooh, all right. Started to get a little bit better. So November 15th. And they put the video right in front of it. November 15th, 24 was it? Yes. Okay, so November 15th of this year. So Assassin's Creed Japan happens this year. Now, before we go any further with any more trailers or anything, there is something, kind of not really an elephant in the room, but there is something to be talked about when it comes to Assassin's Creed Shadows, Assassin's Creed Japan, as everybody likes to call it. Is this kind of too late? Is this like something that is just kind of too late at this point? Because we've had, what, 2 Neos, Wolong, Rise of Ronin now, and possibly other Japanese sword fighting games and everything. I mean, we've had so much in the way of this exact game, and if this came out like 10, 15 years ago, perfect. It would have been great. Oh my God, Assassin's Creed goes to Japan. Now it's almost like it's kind of too late. Other developers have already done this. But I will say Assassin's Creed is a different feel and it's a different game than those games, because all those games try and be Souls-likes. And yes, Assassin's Creed is now kind of like trying to be very, Souls-like itself. But there is still the feel of exploration and unlocking, grabbing collectibles and unlocking, the map and just, building up what is essentially home base and doing, a big part ever since like Assassin's Creed 2 or what is it, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, maybe it was, there is a sense of base building. And that is something that is definitely not in any of the other samurai warrior, type of games like this. So in essence, it's like, okay, so there is still that extra dynamic that Assassin's Creed brings, but my God, I'm running through Rise of Ronin. I'm like over halfway through of it right now, and it's just like I'm looking at this, and I'm like, man, it's another one. So it's just my gut feeling with this is like, is this the right time for Assassin's Creed Shadow? Even though it looks awesome, it looks really, really good. I would love to see what the gameplay it absolutely is going to be playing like and everything in this. I am hyped to see this. It's just that thing of like, man, I've already done kind of 4 other games just like this or very similar to this. But now we finally get Assassin's Creed. So it's like, okay, that's kind of, my biggest interest with this, because I'm an old school Assassin's Creed guy from like the very first game, I'm wondering what the Brotherhood is doing in Japan. Like, who brought the Brotherhood over there? Why is there a black guy that is in with the samurais? Like, after playing Rise of Ronin, seeing how Japan was very against kind of anybody outside of Japan being, if you are not Japanese and they don't really care for you to be a samurai in an aspect. That's coming from Rise of Ronin and coming from like a very Japanese developer. These are Canadian developers for the most part. I'm pretty sure working on this. It's Ubisoft. So again, it's just that kind of questioning going back and forth of like, man, maybe by November, because we have Elden Ring also. It's like another sword fighting game this year. So it's I don't know, maybe I'm just burning myself out on sword fighting games right now. Maybe hopefully by November I need to do something that is not sword fighting for a little bit, because we also had like Final Fantasy, and we've had like Stellar Blade, and there's so much sword fighting going on right now. It's like, man, I need to do something a little bit different. I feel like at least for a few months before Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out. So hopefully we don't have any more sword fighting stuff. We can jump into something like shooting or fighting or something else that is not sword fighting. But yeah, this does look really, really cool. I am curious to see what's going on with the characters. I think I'm more intrigued with the female character here than the guy that's the tank character. I just don't care for tank characters. Also, it just, I don't know, his whole character seems very out of place in this. In all honesty, it just doesn't. He doesn't seem like he fits in all that well. Really, what I would actually like to have seen on this was, you could Rise of Ronin did something very cool where you could customize both characters. So then you could really customize the story of like, okay, who are these characters? The Twin Blades is a very cool idea. I don't know if fully, you can't customize her so much, but being able to, I guess it would be like, like how Ivor is, you have the male and the female Ivor. I guess I'm getting at that point of being able to customize the two characters to that extent, not like full on, brand new custom character or anything like that, but just like, customize the hair, customize the tattoos or whatever else, and do it that way. I don't know. He just seems very out of place in this, and it feels like it's almost being forced in there of like, oh, we need to have somebody, it's to keep certain groups happy, basically, with this. And that is something that should not be happening when it is rooted in a historical context that is Assassin's Creed. So that's probably my biggest gripe right now with this, is just like, number one, this feels kind of like it's, again, super hyped up to see everything about this, see more about the characters and everything, but it just feels like it's, there is one thing being forced in here, kind of. It's like, okay, they're really gonna have to sell me on the story of this, the black guy in Japan during this time, when literally Japanese, the Japanese thing of like the, because even especially back in the old, ancient days of Japan, they really did not like foreigners being in their country at all. As from what we've heard and seen of the Japanese culture and everything. Even in Rise of Ronin, you have like the Americans, the British, and then you have the Japanese, and the Japanese are like, outsiders, and everything. And that's in the 1800s. This is probably way before that. I don't know, because it says feudal Japan and all that. But yeah, just again, too late. A little, very, very, something very, very cool, but just kind of too late in the timeline on everything. Better late than never, I guess. So with that aspect, and then again, let's see if they can sell me on this character. So who are these two? Genuinely curious to see who they are.
With our dual protagonists, we have two fantasy, the samurai and the shinobi. We want the player to experience both, and we cannot squeeze both fantasy into one character, because samurai and shinobi came from a different social class. They have different lives, so we cannot really mix them together.
The historical character of Yasuke presented a really exciting opportunity for the narrative team. We approached it in the same way that so much of the work is done in Assassin's Creed, which is really in terms of research and history first.
He's a historical character?
A lot is known about him, but what we do know, is that he arrived in Japan in 1579, right when our game starts. And that he had relationships with some of the most interesting people in our setting, like Oda Nobunaga, the
Okay, if he's a historical character and he was actually in Japan, that's okay. That's fine. If he was somebody made up and they were trying to like force that the character stereotype basically in there, then it'd be like, But if he is an actual historical character, okay, all right, that's a different approach to it than just being like, okay, we need to have somebody of color in our game, because a lot of games are doing that, which is like, oh man, it just forces it in, you know.
Portuguese and Jesuits, which made it very sort of tantalizing and enticing from a narrative perspective to come in and start weaving these facts with story in between.
The more we read about the character, the more he was inspiring for us. He's a foreigner discovering Japan, and we thought it's the perfect fit because he's discovering Japan and you are discovering Japan also.
And on the flip side, we have Naue, who comes from the province of Iga, which is a remote mountainous area, fiercely independent, known as the birthplace of shinobi. So they're very contrasting.
Let me play as this girl. I want to play as this girl. I don't care about the other dude. Like, she looks like she'd be very fun gameplay wise, and I'm already interested in her character way more. The birthplace is that's awesome. The origins of the origins, you know, it's hell yeah.
Perspectives that really expose a lot of different sides and facets of the era.
When Oda came, he completely destroyed Iga. You have Yasuke and Oda that coming to destroy the shinobi. So it can kind of create this interesting tension between two characters.
I'm having a hard time understanding that
we were able
guy.
to connect her to the province of Iga and the legendary Igan shinobi historical figure, Fujibayashi Nagato, who's her father in the game.
Okay,
so we understand why she has the skills that she has and the values that she learns from
She looks really
her
cool.
father in the people of Iga, which are valor, benevolence, and wisdom. And as a young person still at the start of the game, we get to see now we acquire even more of that wisdom as the story unfolds.
And if you ask anybody, it's super clear that samurai will be combat heavy and a shinobi will be stealth heavy. It creates this distinction right away. Yasuke can fight with all his advantage, his stature, like he's a big guy. He can break door, he can fight multiple enemies, he can break armor. Compared to Naue,
That's the exact class that I always avoid, because I just can't move with that class, and I just don't like that class. I just feel like I'm way too weighted and heavy with it.
like her character and their outfit, it's really about being stealth, being unseen. She's the only one with the hidden blade, so they have clear advantage that put them into the stealth and the combat, even if they can do a bit of
He looks awesome.
They're a really great pair together, because on one side we have Naue, who's very intense and passionate and determined woman who is very set on her goals. She's kind of got her heart on her sleeve, and she'll say what she feels in the heat of the moment. And this intensity that she brings as a shinobi, but that she also brings to her relationship. And this balances very well with Yasuke, who is sort of a thoughtful, level head to Naue's fiery passion. We really thought about somebody like Yasuke historically, who was able to come to Japan and have the life that he did there, to enter service for Oda Nobunaga and achieve all of the things that he did. Like, what kind of person would go through all of this?
You know what I think would have made this story actually better? Take the whole thing of what the hell are their names now? The Assassin's Creed 3 storyline, where and then have the girl from here have a brother, and so it's like I think this would have worked way cooler if you had, and I'm also setting up like tag team moves and everything too. So it's like one part Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, one part Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and then one part Assassin's Creed 3-ish, where you would take, a brother sister being trained by this guy here, which is a historical figure, and then you could, and then what I would have done is taken, her and her brother, and make it so it's like, tag team finishers and all that stuff. I think that would have been really cool to see.
So our Yasuke is very intelligent, thoughtful, and respectful of this culture that he encounters, and that makes him a very nice sort of counterpart to Naue. He's a bit mysterious as well, and that's something we get to see unfold as the game progresses.
I wonder if it's going to be like the last few games where that's your boss fight. That's your main boss fight. Because it seems like every single time they introduce a secondary character, you know, we had you fight your twin brother and you kill him. And then you have the other one where it's like, you know, what was it? I think it was one of the masters or something like that. Yeah. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Okay, so again, 3-day. I'm over the top of it, but it says it right behind me here. 3 days early access with Ubisoft Plus. All right, so we're on the Assassin's Creed website. Pre-order now, November 15th. Again, she just looks really, really cool. He just feels like he's out of place. Like he looks like a wannabe samurai. I don't know, just something about, he's so dressed up. If he was like more in her type of outfit, where it was like he's got the hood up and all that stuff, it wouldn't be so out of place. But just the fact that he is like head to toe in like gold ass gear and everything, when he is, he's not originally from the land. I don't know. It just that character is like, I don't hate him, but I don't love him. He's just kind of there, I think. And then she's going to be like the way cooler character. It looks like she's using like a whippy. Oh, so she's got kind of like the new Scorpion type of weapon going on. Interesting. Let's see here. A new creed arises. A lived intertwined stories of Naoi. Is that what it is? An adept shinobi assassin from Iga province and Yasuke. Let's actually look up and see. Okay, we'll try and go off from IGN's little research that they did. So this year, the anime, naturally, that means to be exploring the life of a Japanese character, the daughter of famed ninja assassin. Okay, so this guy here, this is one of the cool things with Assassin's Creed that you can do. Okay, following the unification of Japan and the shogunate in the 17th century, ninja faded into obscurity. Yeah, because there's like, in Rise of Ronin, it's funny that we have this right after Rise of Ronin, because basically Rise of Ronin is historically it's like set 100 years right after this. So we're getting like the full on like Japanese history, checking in to see all this. But the Shadows has a second main African samurai. If you're surprised to see a man such origins wielding katana, you may not know his fascinating true story. This is Yasuke, Japan's first black samurai. They found the one black guy in Japan. They were like, we're going to do it. We're going to add him in. Japan's black samurai, the first real historical person to be a playable protagonist in an Assassin's Creed game. You know what? I'm going to say Ezio was the first one, because there was so many Italians from that era that were basically Ezio. I'm kidding. Okay, first historical person to be a playable protagonist. Is he though? I feel like we've had, Assassin's Creed Black Flag was basically a historical person of that's every pirate that there is in the world. I guess sure, you could say that. You can make that claim. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like he should be like the master that teaches her how to be an assassin and actually do like Assassin's Creed 3 storyline correctly. Because that's my biggest gripe with Assassin's Creed 3 is, I cannot think of what his name is. The kid that you play as the main character. I can't even think of what his name is. Is it Connor? No. Yeah. Wait, I can't remember if that was Connor or because Kenway was his father, Connor. Like Connor just never cared to be an assassin. He never cared. So this could have been like the cool. This is a cool looking. I'm liking everything aesthetically of this. I don't know. I feel like they could have done the characters a little bit better. They could have done more dynamic storytelling with that. But let's see here. Against the backdrop of turbulent late Sengoku period. Okay, so Sengoku, late Sengoku period. Let's see what's the years we're looking at. 17th, 16th century. So this is like 1700s, I think. Is incident 14. Oh, so it's like 1400s then. I know I'm using wiki, which is not the best thing to use. Yeah, so all right, so almost into the 1500s. And then, like I said, it's funny that we have Rise of Ronin just took place during the 1800s. So, okay, yeah, so that's going to be like a few hundred years. Because Rise of Ronin is basically the end of the, you know, whether it's samurais or ninjas or any of that stuff. It's like the end of all that era. Explore Japan. Discover the captivating open world of feudal Japan, from spectacular castle towns and bustling ports to peaceful shrines, landscapes. Gotcha. Become a shinobi assassin. As a quick-witted and agile Naoi, use noise, light, shadows to evade detection as enemies respond to their changing surroundings. Distract guards using kunai, shuriken, and smoke bombs. Again, this would be amazing if it was like last gen. We have done this so many times in the past now with so many different games. Like, it's not any, it's like you just kind of expect the game to be this at this point. Legendary samurai, charismatic samurai Yosuke, strike your foes with brutal precision and power. Uses combat-oriented skills to attack, block, parry, defeat your enemies. Oh man. Okay. This sounds like what she should be. I don't know. All right, whatever. Master the vast arsenal of weapons, katana, bows. Free Japan from its oppressors. I don't know, man. He's a tank character. I don't like tank characters. But it seems like we can pick who we want to play as. So if we want to have the quick, nimble, agile character, we can do that. That's very cool. Information is your weapon. Travel the world, explore, scout surroundings, gather vast intel, build your network of spies, to be your eyes and ears across locations to unveil new. So it's kind of brotherhood type of stuff going on there. Along the way, recruit several allies with highly specialized skills and abilities. So very brotherhood with that description. I like it. Play it your way. You decide whether to play as shinobi or samurai. So I guess I'm a shinobi then. Master complementary playstyles. 2 fully realized protagonists. Approach quests with whichever character you prefer, as each possesses their own respective progression stats, skills, and gear. Very cool. And then what we got here. So baseline game is on everything. 3 days early access. You have to get gold edition. Ultimate pack. Would really love to be able to see this image blown up. Unfortunately, I don't think I can do it. Let's see. Oop, there we go. So season pass includes 2 upcoming expansions, extra missions at launch. Okay, good. Good to know. We got that in the gold edition. Ultimate pack. Yeah, I'm not really 100% feeling this. Have a bright ass red character. Okay, discover the gold. Discover Assassin's Creed's Collector's Edition. So hold on. Gold, Ultimate, Newlands, Ultimate, Play 3 days early by pre-ordering the Gold or Ultimate. So this is probably 100, and this is probably 130, 150. And then we have a Collector's Edition with a statue and a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay, all right. Interesting seeing all this. Again, I think I'm sold on the girl. I don't think I care for the dude character so much. Yeah. Can't wait to see more on it. Can't wait to see what else they end up showing at Ubisoft Forward. So until then, that's going to do it for this one. We watched 2 trailers, got a whole bunch of information on everything, and yeah. We will see what ends up going forward with it. So make sure and hit the sub button, the like button, bells, all that good stuff, YouTube stuff. And yeah, I will be back with whatever other trailers end up dropping. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, I will see you next time.